Happy New Year, everyone. It is January 1st. We are starting it off with a Thursday, and Bitcoin has not moved too much, but it's a decent movement, at least ever since we bought yesterday. A lot of good movement overall, generally to the upside. Only Hyperliquid, the only standout, at least the ones that we review, that is headed toward the downside, but we'll be discussing all of that in detail tonight. We will also be talking about Iran just suddenly mass protesting across many cities for whatever reason. We'll talk about that, the potential Israel-Palestine, Israel-Iran conflict, whatever the heck is going on down there. We'll be discussing that too, and really there isn't too much craziness going on today. Stock markets were closed, so there wasn't much you could expect. That being said, we still are going to be talking about what to predict for 2026, what to expect, and yeah, the 4-year cycle is broken. It's gone. We kind of confirmed that yesterday. Bitcoin did not end up closing anywhere near 93,000 or above. We ended up closing the year at 88,000. So we started the year at 93,000. Very strong start. Ended it moderately weak, 88,000. Sure. We did the thumbnail thing again, by the way. 88,000 for consecutive days. Let's go. So that's awesome. Didn't work today. Will work tomorrow. But I'm still in, it's a weird schedule, my work schedule. I'm actually gonna have to work from like 8 to 4 or 8 to 5. I think it's 8. I don't even know what time I'm starting. I'm just gonna get on at 8 just in case. And if I'm early, I'm early, whatever, who gives. So I'll be early, working early, which means I'll be able to finish early. That would allow me to be able to stream still at the same time, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. We'll be discussing whatever happens on Friday. It will be the first business day of the year. I'm sure nothing will change. Other than a positive trajectory overall, we've been having a decent week, right? It wasn't too bad. I don't know what you want to call this fake pump, scam, dump, whatever. We had it Sunday, Monday morning. Sure. But that's behind us now, and we're overall up. I'm seeing a lot of altcoins doing some good stuff, which we'll be getting into. So I still think we're going to keep going a little higher. I think overall 2026 will be a bullish year because of the fact that this year something's just different. Maybe, this is one hypothesis that I have. The fact that if you go look at previous cycles, the 4-year cycles, yes, I'm kind of taking it into account here. They've taken, like, okay, the first 4-year cycle was its own thing, good. The second 4-year cycle took a little bit longer. The third 4-year cycle took a little bit longer. And now this cycle, it's probably just taking extra long, and maybe we have the big, huge rise that we all want and expect in 2026. Just maybe. Nothing's confirmed. This could be the bear market year that a lot of people are expecting. And for good reason. Do keep in mind that even if you go to the weekly charts, we're in a bear market, technically. There's a down trend in the weekly chart. Currently invalidates at 114,000 for Bitcoin. But that's actually not that far off, honestly. 100,000 is achievable, even by, like, end of this month. It's only a 13% rise. We see a lot of money flowing in and out of gold and silver. Some of this money, and especially we're getting a lot of liquidity boosts in 2026, surely we go back up there, at least to 100,000. And then by then, this is our next target, our next real target. Yeah, we'll have smaller targets as we go by, and we'll be analyzing them short term for you guys. But surely, come on, we flip the trend over back into a green in 2026. If that happens, if Bitcoin does rise anywhere above 114,000, yeah, we're absolutely back. We'll be making new highs in 2026, guaranteed. Late adopter, welcome. Good evening. Happy New Year to you. Okay, so we're starting off the year at 88,000. Wonderful. From here, I mean, we haven't really had too crazy of movement. I repurchased my position, obviously at a terrible price. What happened was day before yesterday, even before that actually, I bought at a really good price. It did its rise. I didn't decide to sell, just put a stop loss on my entry price. It came back down stop hunted me at my entry price and continued rising. By the time I paid attention, I was like, oh, the price already went back up. It's still close enough. It was like $700 difference from where I purchased originally, so I decided to rebuy at $87,979. That's my current average entry price. Bitcoin did its thing. It rose to 88,882 today and has now dropped to 88,442. Not too bad. I still expect, I don't know, should we still pay attention to 90,000? It is the next resistance, so if tomorrow is a great day, we could expect Bitcoin approaching those levels until, of course, we get a nasty 10 a.m. drop. Of course. So that's the good stuff to expect. Saturday, don't expect anything. I do think we will be getting some decent volume on Friday. Something just tells me. I don't know. Nothing's confirmed, by the way. Uptrend is in our favor, so we at least have this going on for us. Supertrend has not started rising just yet, which gives us enough room to breathe, I guess. We could drop to 86,000 and still be in an uptrend, and if we do, I will be loading up very heavily. From here, I do have the option of putting a stop loss. Should I do it? I'm expecting a rise. I will not put a stop loss here. And if we drop, good, I will be buying harder. So that's why I'm leaving my position here at 87,979 for Bitcoin. What else do we have? Rest of my altcoins, they're all still in a risky area, but it's nothing too crazy. I can survive. I've survived the worst. We've survived Bank of Japan rate hike days where, you know, prices were at terribly low price, but we survived it all. Nice. Ethereum, I saw it at 3,000 a minute ago. Here we are, $2,996. Really close. We did poke above it, so I guess it's not a big deal. The highest we hit today was $3,008.60. Good. Ethereum should go back up to its resistance that we hit, 3,055. This was perfect, by the way. Whatever pivot level does to calculate this, impressive. Managed to hit the exact resistance level with the rise that we had Sunday evening. You never trust those Sunday pumps because it all got erased afterwards, but it was necessary so that we can get rid of this whole CME gap mumbo jumbo. It's gone. There's no CME gap anymore, so this is hopefully allowing us to rise. Ethereum's not wasting any time though. You see the super trend, it's already on the rise, 2,893 and rising. Hasn't stabilized yet, meaning that the uptrend feels like it's strong, or either this is just like little to no volatility, the fact that this is kind of rising. I would expect it to continue rising though. I did like it when it was over here at 2,865 approximately, but whatever, it has to do its thing. Time goes on and it must follow that. So Ethereum is just, it's continuing to rise so far. Wouldn't be surprised to see it at 3,055 by tomorrow, maybe. I'm expecting a good rise tomorrow. Solana hasn't changed its trend toward the upside yet. We had a bit of a fake out, but clear heavy resistance right there at 130. 129, what was this high? $130.13. Resistance was at 129.56. Yeah, close enough. Same with the downtrend and validation. Very, very important resistance for Solana, which we have not been able to break. We bounced from that, and we are trying to reaccumulate and slowly head back up there once again, which I do believe this time we absolutely can break out of there. Doing so would take us to 134, if that is to happen, breaking the downtrend. Let's see what happens. I like it so far. Solana is at $125.94. So look at 130 first, then to 134. Moving on to Zcash, it's also been having a decent rise. One of the early movers. Supertrend is still peaking upwards at 476. It's still heading upwards, so we gotta wait to see where that stabilizes to. Current price of Zcash is $525.39. Continuation of the movement upward. We're no longer overbought at this area, so we do have enough strength and momentum to continue higher. That could take us to about 580 for Zcash. Ultimately, I don't expect it higher than 600 before seeing a decent correction, potentially changing its 4-hour trend back to bearish in the future. We're talking maybe a week or two from now. I like it. Negative funding rate still. Dude, whoever owns Zcash long right now is making a killing with these fees, depending obviously on how much you put in. Moving on from that, we do have Hyperliquid. Why did it do this? This is not here like that before. But you guys remember where I had my entry price. Look at what it did. It's obviously not natural. Hold on. What I'm trying to point out is the short trade that I drew on Hyperliquid. Oh, there it is. It fixed itself by refreshing the page. Good to know. This was literally it, right? I did not touch anything throughout the days. I drew this on December 26th, so last week, thinking that if Hyperliquid obviously does not continue rising, I decided not to do anything for it. And yeah, I did regret not entering it multiple times. Yeah, it would have hit a take profit there. It's nothing too crazy though. I did put I put it at a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. It managed to do that. Hyperliquid had its drop today of 5.67%. I was hoping for an entry at 26, looking at a stop loss at 27. This is a short trade, meaning that a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio would bring your take profit at 24. We dropped to a low of $23.76, meaning that you would have hit a good profit on this one. Had I taken my own advice, of course, but I was too scared, I'll be honest. I was seeing a lot of other things flipping their trend upward, and I'm like, Hyperliquid is kind of oversold. Maybe we'll see it rise as well. But you didn't see the trend flip over for a lot of other altcoins, such as Solana, right? You did see it flip over for Zcash and Aptos, which we'll get into Aptos soon. And I was expecting the same to happen for Hyperliquid. Clearly not enough strength was there to push it higher. Rather, we actually had it drop a little lower. There might be some fundamentals linked to this. So I do want to review on CoinMarketCap if there is anything as to why that happened. Hyperliquid is number 13. Why are we down? And don't give me technical. That's garbage. Perps, DEX, competition. That's always been a thing. Here we go. We have a LIT token, a new decentralized exchange is what it seems like, that launched on December 30th, which triggered $250 million in capital outflows from its platform. Okay, wait, never mind. No direct migration to Hyperliquid occurred. Traders compared LIT's 26.6x fees to FDV multiple to Hype's 29.9x, raising valuation concerns. So there's a cheaper DEX out there, is from what I understand, if this is what these numbers mean. A narrative shift toward new entrants like Lighter temporarily dampened Hype's appeal. However, it still retains the dominance with, high open interest, 7 billion versus Lighter's 1.45 billion, suggesting long-term resilience. I do agree, Hyperliquid will still be on top. Maybe this could be a contender, but there's always competition from these DEXs. Who's going to be the Hyperliquid killer? We had a whole month of going through this garbage with Aster, with Sun, with something A, Avantis, Apex, and Bluefin, among others. So yeah, there's that. Interesting indeed. Okay, I've never heard of this one though. Lighters, let's have a look at that. What are you doing? LIT. It's number 76. That is impressive, and I've never heard of this. How many history do we have here? Token literally launched December 30. So this is new, and this huge pump over here, I'm assuming, caused a lot of hype with it. It's impressive. Well, I can understand why it might seem appealing. It's number 76, but the market cap is still 654 million. That's not a lot. With the top 100 cryptocurrencies, you would expect them all to at least have a $1 billion market cap, and this is me just being greedy. I don't remember. I'm going to have to look at old videos to go back in time. When everything was rising really high, tell me early October, let's just say, for example, did the top 100 cryptocurrencies have a $1 billion market cap at least? Surely they have, right? Let me go to an obvious number 100. Virtual, sure. Give me 1 year market cap. Okay, well, 4 billion, but at least here I'm talking at least 1 billion, right? A lot of them at least had a $1 billion market cap. Right now, $1 billion market cap, you're looking at number 60 plus. 62 for Filecoin. Filecoin having a great day today, by the way, 13% up. I don't review it usually, but I noticed that. Arbitrum is also up, Algorand, Cosmos, huge percentages, 7-8%. And Pepe up 20%. That is insane. I've not looked at Pepe ever since what did I do? I don't think I got liquidated on Pepe. I made some profits and decided not to re-enter because everything was crashing really hard. That's probably what happened. I still love Pepe though. Polkadot up 12%. That's criminal. Canton, I still don't know what this is, but it's up here as well. It just suddenly appeared in the top 100 list. Just goes to show new projects with high venture capital investment immediately takes you to the big list over here. And then you kind of decay yourself with a lot of inflation and irrelevance to the point where you're just another one of the 500,000, however many cryptocurrencies exist. I don't know. That's a good question. With meme coins, it's probably impossible to tell how many cryptocurrencies exist. Couldn't I just see this in CoinMarketCap itself? Well, what is the number? Just tell me. They track over 17,000 and 19,000. No, it's much higher than that. 37 million. Yeah, there you go. Because not everything is, believe it or not, not everything is listed on CoinMarketCap or on the other darn platform, CoinGecko. Yeah, here it is. Cryptos. I don't know if you can see this down here. 29 million cryptos in existence. Okay. Yeah. So meme coins obviously killed that. Look at when. Okay, never mind. Forget this. That's enough of that. So why did I even talk about this? Hyperliquid dropped. That's why. So Hyperliquid has some competition now. Another one. But I don't think it's a big deal. Lower fees. Okay. But what about the community? That also matters a lot. Not a lot of people know about Lighter. Maybe it'll be good in the future, potentially overtaking Hyperliquid. That's where the speculative investments come in, of course. But I think we're good for now. Hyperliquid will still remain king, and I believe that firmly. Sui, it's on the right track. I like this. 150 is that target that is needed for us to break through so we can flip the trend over. Please do it. Sui criminally oversold still. Seems like whatever rise we were having earlier today is slowing down, not just for Sui, but a lot of the other altcoins that have been having a rise, with the exception of Hyperliquid, of course. So, interesting. We're at 146 right now with Sui. I wouldn't look at supports for now. I'm still confident that we will likely flip trends. If not by Friday tomorrow, then definitely on next week, by next week. I'm hoping at least. There is only one thing that could suppress us from rising. No, there's obviously more, but the main one I would say is another conflict in the Middle East. Seems like things are heating up a little bit over there, but we'll talk about that when we get to our news part. But for now, if it's business as usual, we're really oversold. We're entering a new year. People are back from tax loss harvesting, whatever it is called, and they're looking for gems to buy. So do it. Chainlink also having a nice green day today. 2.85% up. We're at $12.60. We need to break 13 plus, or $12.91, $12.96. Give me 13 plus. That's all I want to see for Chainlink. Then we'll talk. After that, of course, is 1344 if you care about another resistance, which I've discussed in the past. Support level, I think it is important to point out, $12. Very important. Support level from pivots, local bottom, psychological level, $12. Chainlink, good. That being said, will I buy? Not yet. I'm waiting for trends to break. Anything with 13 plus, close the candle above that, retrace a little bit, confirm the uptrend, and then we go on. All right. Bitensor, $228.86. We're up 3.56% today. We need to rise above 234, 235, maybe. What around those two levels. But decent rise so far. I like it. I wouldn't pay attention much to supports for now. Aptos. I really want to talk about this one. Great. Looks like I did the right thing so far. I shared this on the Discord, this image, because the projection was quite perfect. So you guys keep in mind one thing. I drew this back in December 27. This line has not moved, right? And I kind of predicted the movement. I said, hey, if Aptos it already flipped its trend into the green. What I would expect from here is price approaching $1.60, and I would go long with that, putting a stop loss, of course, where I would estimate super trend to kind of flatten out, which that was also pretty close. Good. Did I sell too early? Yeah, maybe. I just wanted to lock in the profits, okay? I've been having a bad year in 2025. Give me a break. So I decided to take profits here, and the buy and sell markers, they look pretty excellent, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, maybe if I waited, the rest of this could have played out, because I have a 100% correlation so far with what I drew. Not fully 100%, right? I was expecting a drop a bit earlier, but it still came. Last night's stream, I decided to go long on Aptos. Stop loss at 160, is that? Yeah, my entry would have been at... I can't even tell what these numbers are. Can I please open this chart? I entered at 170. Stop loss at 160. My original target was at $2, which that's a 1-to-4 risk-reward ratio. I got lucky enough with whatever the heck this was this morning, so I decided, you know what? Just come right over here into my pocket. And there you go. I like it. We did approach this resistance. I'm like, we're probably going to slow down a bit here. We're overbought. We're reaching a resistance. I've got a decent profit. I'm just going to take it. And that's what I did. And in effect, we are no longer rising from here. Our highest from Aptos, rising from a low of 164. We hit a high of 187 in a matter of a day, which is just excellent. I love that. A 10-11% rise. Great. Remind me, I want to talk about New Year's resolutions by the end of the stream. Where's my pen? This desk is so cool, by the way. I've gotten used to it a little bit. I've been sitting here all day, so I think my brain is now accustomed to how spacious it is. The other one was not spacious. Another thing that I'm thankful for is when I got rid of my old desk, where I live, you have to like buy a sticker to place it on large furniture or large garbage that you want disposed of. So when it's garbage day over here, the garbage truck comes to collect the stuff. They will not take large garbage if there's not a sticker on it. And the stickers cost something like $15, which is a scam. But whatever. So what we did either way is just we took out the large furniture, we put it at the front curb, and we're like, yeah, we'll buy a sticker for it later when garbage day comes. Today was garbage day. We're like, okay, well, might have to go out and buy that darn sticker, huh? And guess what? Somebody took the furniture away, so the old desk. Which means that we saved ourselves $15 and the hassle of seeing that in our front lawn, which is just fantastic. So I'm happy with that. New Year's resolution. I was waiting to write this. Solution. Okay, we'll talk about that in this stream because I'm going to be honest, we do not have too much news to talk about. There's still some content. So let's go ahead and get into that. Okay, first off, Iran, away from home. Iran protests just went nationwide. 50 plus cities defy the regime, the IRGC. It's not just one angry crowd anymore. Now it is over 50 cities, all of a sudden, by the way, rising up at once. And the regime can't keep up. Cops and soldiers are being stretched so thin, they might as well be taking attendance, not controlling riots. What started as an outrage over soaring prices and brutal crackdowns has turned into something way bigger. People are done whispering and now shouting in the streets, even in places that used to back the regime, which is interesting. Potential regime change. By the way, this is something that many parts of the world want, including Israel, right? So here's more about it. Iranians taking control of IRGC police stations as well as the revolution in Iran continues. Looks pretty explosive, a lot of arson. But hey, that's all part of a nice and peaceful protest, am I right? Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, lashes out at the US, accusing Washington of betraying even its allies. He claims America backs the criminal Zionist regime in Palestine and fuels wars worldwide for oil and resources, which we now see them spreading their influence into Latin America with the whole Venezuela thing. Seems like because we're seizing the oil tankers, and then we're also using the criminal cartels as an excuse to land strike them. That's a whole different subject, though. So that's Ayatollah's thoughts on all of this. Probably not specifically to the protests, but the Iranian president himself, Pezeshkian, says that if people are dissatisfied, we are the ones to blame. It's not America, it's not anyone else. Well, there you go, completely against the Ayatollah there. It is our responsibility to manage resources properly, improve efficiency and productivity, and solve the people's problems. Our failures are a result of poor management. And this comes when we're talking about, what was it? What were they protesting over again? Soaring prices and brutal crackdowns. Okay, soaring prices. Get out of here. What are you doing? That's what he comments on that. In the meantime, Israel is preparing to fight on 3 fronts this year between Iran, Lebanon, and the West Bank, Gaza. That's the West Bank, right? Israeli Channel 12 stated that the Israeli army is speeding up preparations for a surprise war on 3 fronts, Iran, Lebanon, and the occupied West Bank. This comes amid ongoing regional tensions following conflicts in 2025, including a 12-day war with Iran in June. Remember that? When it crashed Bitcoin to 99,000? I panic sold and then everything went back up. Wasn't that just fantastic? This is why you don't panic sell. I will never panic sell again. And I didn't panic sell, and I got mega liquidated not a month later. You know, in October, December, November, whenever it was I got liquidated. It was pretty recent. 80,000. When was 80,000 Bitcoin? This is November, okay? That's when I got liquidated. Iran. Israel remains highly concerned about Iran's reconstitution of its ballistic missile arsenal after significant degradation in 2025 strikes. IDF Chief of Staff has emphasized a prolonged campaign against Iran as central to Israel's security, with warnings of strikes wherever required. Analysts note that Iran's missile rebuilding could become a critical threat by late 2026. There you go. So it's going to be this year that the bombings are going to happen once again at some point, potentially prompting preemptive Israeli action. There you go. Sometime earlier than late 2026, we're going to get a nice old strike. And we already have the green light from Donald Trump. Trump, after Netanyahu visited Trump, he's still there, by the way. I think they celebrated New Year's, I think. I saw some footage of that. Yeah, he gave them the green light. You're allowed to destroy Iran's missile facility, and if it's nuclear, it'll be like immediate, right? We're not going to wait. Lebanon for Hezbollah. A fragile ceasefire from late 2024/early 2025 holds, but Israel conducts near-day strikes on alleged Hezbollah rearmament sites, including elite Radwan force facilities. Lebanon faces pressure to fully disarm Hezbollah south and potentially north of the Litani River by early 2026 deadlines, with Israeli officials signing possible large-scale operations if compliance fails. Hezbollah resists full disarmament, raising escalation risks. It's always Hezbollah and Hamas refusing to disarm. I still don't think Hamas is disarmed yet, right? In the West Bank, violence has intensified with over 1,000 Palestinians killed since October 2023 per the UN figures, ongoing military raids, home demolitions displacing thousands, and settler attacks. Recent incidents include mass demolitions in northern areas and arrests, contributing to a climate of heightened tension. So that's what's been kind of going on there in the Middle East. We're definitely going to get a big old crash whenever these wars happen. North Korea is warning Israel, though, saying they intensified their rhetoric regarding the Middle East, declaring that any new Israeli attack on Iran would be considered a direct threat to Asian security. A spokesperson for the North Korean Foreign Ministry warned that a war on Tehran is no longer a local matter, but a threat that affects everyone. Pyongyang stated that any further military escalation would transcend border and continents, with consequences that could not be confined to a single region. Nice. Hey, if anything good comes out of Iran, it's this. They're accepting crypto for arms deals. I don't even think that's that good. They're offering missiles, drones, and warships to foreign governments with crypto accepted as a payment to bypass the Western financial sanctions, as per Financial Times. Hey, that's good for your meme coins, but Iran is probably going to get rich again if they're not going to be selling their oil because it's all sanctioned. They're going to sell weapons, and they're going to do it with transacting with crypto. Whatever crypto they use, I don't know. That one's going to have a decent rise until somehow someone puts a stop to it. So, yeah. I'm going to raise my desk and stand up because I can, and my legs are tired. Enjoy this table ASMR, if it even makes a sound. I don't even know if the mic picks it up. I forgot to check yesterday. But I'm going to do it anyway. Here we go. We're rising. Oh yeah, I need to stand up every once in a while now. I like the desk. It's going to allow me to do this, especially because now I will have my work from home job. Does it actually make noise? I don't know. I'll review that later. What else we got? U.S. lawmakers expected to advance crypto market structure legislation in early January 2026. This is what everybody's saying is going to prevent market manipulation. Let's hope so, because I'm kind of tired of seeing a 10 a.m. drop every day. Or a rise, I don't know. Whatever you do, the opposite will happen at 10 a.m. Nice grammar. Bo Hines, who we know now works with Tether as a, what is it, the financial advisor or something. Hold on, what does Bo Hines do for Tether? Oh, he's the CEO? He's not the CEO. He's a strategic advisor for digital assets and US strategy something. So who is the CEO of Tether? Who is the CEO of Tether? It's not Bo Hines, it's Paulo Ardoino. Okay. Anyways, he's obviously just reposting this because he is now working for Tether. He used to be at the White House working under Trump for crypto. What was he doing before? I just read it before. I have short-term memory loss. Whatever, doesn't matter. Tether buys 8,888 Bitcoins worth $779 million in the last quarter of 2025. Great. I was tired of them buying gold. I was wondering how long they're going to keep buying gold, especially as gold has been at all-time highs. I don't think it is anymore. Surely we've had a drop in gold, right? I mean, markets weren't even open. What am I talking about? But still, why is this a thing? I'm deleting pivots, dude. It looks horrible in TradingView. Gold. Give me gold. Yeah, we peaked at 4,550, and we're at 4,352 right now with gold. So, yeah, I was wondering how long Tether's going to keep buying gold. They have a lot. They're the company with the most amount of gold, if I'm not mistaken. Or something like that. They have more gold than a lot of countries combined. How much gold does Tether have? They hold 116 metric tons. That's not kind of what I'm looking for. It is the world's largest non-sovereign gold holder. So yeah, the company with the most not Bitcoin, the most gold in existence. Hey, good for you. Now they're buying the digital gold, which is what we've been asking them to do. So thank you. This is how we end the year, and this is finally posted by the Bitcoin Twitter account, the Bitcoin X account. Remember this whole issue with them where I have to raise this desk a little higher. Okay. Yeah, they were just posting stuff completely unrelated to Bitcoin. Like they kind of got bored of posting Bitcoin stuff. Well, I think they're back to finally doing it. They're no longer posting the weather or hurricanes. They're finally posting Bitcoin memes, which yes, that's what you should be doing. Because before they just only posted the Bitcoin price in different currencies, and they're like, okay, it's kind of boring. Do something better. Do something more. They're like, okay, we'll post about the weather. No, don't do that. Post more related to Bitcoin. Give us financial advice, you know? But here we go. We finally got the meme. So it's this meme. Silver is up 140% in the year. Gold 70% up. S&P 500 almost 17% up. And Bitcoin is down 6.5%. Surely next year we have something better. On Polymarket, there is a 60% chance that Bitcoin drops below 65,000 this year. I'll have a look at this, and I don't believe this. Dropping below 65,000. My predictions, or my analysis rather, I actually don't even know if this will still work since we have already technically broken the 4-year cycle. Things were different. We never drop as lower than after the presidential elections. Never in Bitcoin's history has that happened, right? For a bear market case. So whenever the elections happen in the United States, whatever Bitcoin's price is, you know, we have our rise, we have our bull run. Excellent. When the bear market time comes a couple of years later, we have our big crash on Bitcoin, but we never go lower than that price of the previous presidential election that happened before the actual bull run happened, right? The bear market erasing all that. In this case, for this year, November 4, Trump wins the election of 2024, and Bitcoin's price was 66,000 at that time. Meaning that if there is a bear market, sure, we're doing a rise. If this is the excuse of a bull run, whatever, we're now in a bear market, sure, we're at 88,000. Bitcoin's lowest price should not go lower than 66,000. I'm kind of willing to put my money where my mouth is on this one. So I'm going to put my Polymarket skills to the test. How about that? Let's go all in here. There is a lot of people saying 56% chance Bitcoin goes below 65,000. That's not going to happen. And I'm willing to bet it all. My payout will be 618. And I think I could sell whenever I want. When this thing goes to 100K, everybody's going to agree with me that Bitcoin will not be below 65,000. That I'm doing this right? Yeah, I'm doing this right. That's crazy. A lot of people still do think we're going to be going below. We're all expecting a bear market, and not a lot of people are expecting too much for a bull market to happen. At least it's a high chance for 100,000, 80%. That's the highest percentage. It seems like we will hit 100,000 in 2026. 65,000. This goes against my analysis. I do this basically like a full-time job. I accept. It's either this or I do... Is this working? Oh, okay. There you go. Bitcoin below 65,000? Nope. Could I have gone safer with 55,000? Yeah, probably. But the payout is not that great. I didn't even remember how much the payout was. Whatever, I'll review the stream replay later. And I don't really have to wait until the end of this year of 2026. When Bitcoin hits 100,000, this percentage will obviously be much lower. The fact that people are expecting Bitcoin's price to crash from 100,000 to 65,000 during the rest of this year, probably not going to happen. Can we approach it? We absolutely can. But I think this is a safe bet overall. According to my analysis, this would also be cycle breaking. And that's the only issue, is that we have had some cycle breaking things happen to us. Bitcoin hitting an all-time high before the halving event. We now have a pro-crypto administration, pro-crypto everything, and crypto adoption is on the rise, which should be a bullish thing, by the way. We now have a strategic reserve and all that. And I mean, this year, last year, I'm confused. I still think I'm in 2025. Year 25 was supposed to be the best returning year for Bitcoin historically, according to the 4-year cycle. We actually ended the year in the red, and that's never happened before. On the 4th year, we never end the year on the red. We usually have the explosive banana zone parabolic rise. In my opinion, that's probably going to get delayed. How high can we go? I'll give you 170k, maybe. Bo Hines also agrees, anyone bearish on Bitcoin heading into 2026 is foolish. I agree. You think Bitcoin's going below 65,000? In your dreams. Really, will it actually go below that? It can if this is like a weird cycle. If things are faster rather than slower, yeah, we'll have a mini bear cycle and we'll drop to 66,000 lowest. So the fact that 65,000 was an option there just further makes me want to like actually bet on that on Poly Market. There you go. I'm hoping for the best for that. I'll be reviewing that every time I care to remember. Bitcoin has broken the traditional 4-year cycle for the first time in 14 years in its whole history, basically. This is a huge, not a huge article, but it's an article talking about it. We'll go through it. For the first time in Bitcoin's history, the post-halving year has closed in red. In past cycles, the pattern was consistent. The halving year usually closes green. The year after the halving has historically been even stronger. Then a cycle top and a deep bear market. But this time it looks different. 2024, the halving year, closed strong. I'll agree, 93,000, nice. 2025, instead of continuing higher, it closed in red, which breaks the 14-year pattern. But it doesn't automatically mean Bitcoin is weak. What changed is what drives Bitcoin now. Earlier cycles were dominated by halving supply shocks, retail speculation. Today, Bitcoin moves more with liquidity conditions, interest rates, institutional flows, broader business cycles. The halving still matters, but its impact is smaller. I still think the supply shock will be big. There's only 1 million Bitcoin left to be mined. In 2012, daily supply dropped by thousands of Bitcoin. In 2024, the reduction was only a few hundred. So instead of a clean 4-year rhythm, Bitcoin appears to be shifting into a liquidity-driven cycle. The cycle may not be broken, it may simply be maturing. And here's the 4-year cycle chart, what we're all talking about. 3 years of green, 1 year of red. Great. The past 4 cycles, this time though, we only had 2 years of green, and the 3rd year is red. 2026 was supposed to be the bear market year. People seem to still be betting on that if they're still paying attention to it. I disagree though. We're not dropping another 50%, 70, 60% like previous years. For Bitcoin to do that, it wouldn't even be worth $1 trillion anymore. And I don't see that happening. I expect trillions to enter Bitcoin, which would more than duplicate the price. So I'm just saying. Liquidity is coming. Trump media... Moving on from this, Trump media announced plans to collaborate with Crypto.com, Kronos, to distribute a new digital token to DJT shareholders. More details are expected soon. It's not the first time they've done a partnership like this, but the only difference, of course, this time around is that you're getting an airdrop. Here's more details. They plan to distribute a digital token to shareholders. The partner is Crypto.com, built on Kronos chain. You get roughly 1 token per DJT share. Details are coming. So every share that you have in DJT stock, which is the Trump media technology. Brother, I opened the wrong app. Why is this still here? Did I not delete it? I literally deleted it and enabled Supertrend. Do I have to like do something else here so that doesn't happen again? TradingView is strange. Or maybe it's because I close it too fast, it doesn't save my stuff. That could be the case. What was I going to do? DJT. Decent rise. We called the bottom, right? That was funny. It's $13 a share currently. Every share that you have, you get 1 Kronos token, which right now should be worth 20 a share. Oh my gosh, it's worth 9 cents. I thought it would be worth at least 22 cents. What happened to Kronos? This was the previous partnership that it had with DJT in the past, in August of 2025, reaching a high of 38 cents from averaging 15 cents. We've since then decayed. October 10, pretty obvious where that is, dropping to a low of 6 cents. And ever since going back to its usual 16, 15, 14 cents, I was thinking 20 cents in Canadian maybe, because I do use Kronos, just the spot exchange itself, right? In Canadian, that's how I on-ramp, off-ramp. And I'm used to seeing the 20 cents. Still have my crypto card, Kronos card, by the way, which does nothing but collect dust. It's at 9 cents, dude. This is brutal. But come on, surely this announcement should be good, right? This token is not equity, and it's not profit sharing. It's a loyalty reward token for perks and discounts across Trump Media products. Oh, so it's not actually Kronos that they're giving you. It's not this token. Otherwise, this thing would be on the rise again. It's kind of on the rise today, but everything else was kind of on the rise. It seems the same as the rest. Like Aptos did better than this with no news, right? I also looked at Aptos. There was no real news as to why it was rising, right? Unless something came out now. I'm getting so sidetracked, but I do want to confirm this before I move on and talk about Kronos. Aptos, why are we rising? From what I saw was technical breakout, which is like, that's dumb. DeFi incentives drive demand. That's also kind of dumb. Suspected institutional buying. Oh, I did realize this. Yeah, there was a huge buy of institutions on December 31st, 1 day ago, which sparked this rise. As soon as we were live, I'm pretty sure that was when it happens. The institutions, they watch my streams and they're like, hey, this guy's going long on Aptos. We agree. We'll go along with him and we'll give him a nice paycheck. So, hey, that worked. For Kronos itself, though, yeah, like this rise today, what even is this percentage-wise? 4%, 5%? Nothing too crazy. Whatever token you're getting may not be tradable, may not be transferable. There's no cash value. Why does it matter for Kronos? A NASDAQ-listed company chose Crypto.com, the chain, and Kronos, which is real corporate adoption, which we have seen in the past. It also brings non-crypto users, people who are invested in the stock of DJT, into the Kronos ecosystem, which should be long-term bullish for Kronos. That's why it is good. Last display, welcome. Yes, I do agree, Kronos. It is at a really oversold level right now. If we're talking technically speaking, right, with technical analysis, anything above 9 cents with 65, we'll say, anything that breaks above that would be good. I regret deleting pivot levels. Can I have them back? I'm just going to go on this one, honestly. It's annoying to risk having that appear. What do you got? Yeah, pivot resistance level is right there too. 0.9650. Breaking that would confirm an uptrend, and whatever minimal drop we get from here, that's probably where I'd go long too. What was our lowest here? Is it actually 8 cents? 8851. We literally made a lower low on December 31st yesterday. Okay. So from here, it's, I don't know, it's a bit unlikely. Whatever uptrend we get, it's going to somehow look like this. Although I'm sure at some point, like, as Supertrend flips over, like down here, it'll start following this and then kind of do something like this, because price might have another lower move like this. I'd still enter it maybe earlier around here. If you want to get into it early, you could, but I'm done doing that kind of stuff. I'm waiting for confirmation, even if I'm leaving a couple of dollars on the table. I want to confirm this thing does flip over to an uptrend. I have not even looked at what the downtrends look like for this, which are probably horrid. Indeed. This doesn't have a lot of history because it joined the Bing X chart when the hype in August was there. It's hard to find an exact downtrend to draw this on. It's difficult, But yeah. You made 30K on Chronos when it went to 38 cents. That's huge, man. Congrats. I also did make a good amount as well, but this was money that I had in there since like 2021 when I was first getting into crypto. Obviously, when the big rise was happening, everybody was FOMOing in. I was that one guy. I was aping into Terra Luna while it was crashing. It was funny, man. 2021 was a crazy day. Crazy year. What am I talking about? Yeah, so I had Chronos since then. I had the card and everything. And I haven't touched it at all. It was just holding it there on spot. When that rise happened, I also did take advantage of it. I duplicated the money I had in there. So, yeah, we all made some decent money on that. Now it's really, really down, really cheap. I still think Crypto.com itself, very good exchange, right, for cryptocurrencies. I don't know too much about the chain and what stuff they've got going on with it. I was looking into it in the past, stuff like VVS, Tectonic, the things that they were doing with promoting their stuff, like appearing on UFC as an ad or on the FIFA World Cup as a banner ad there. Yeah. Oh, you have the card too. That's awesome. I didn't put too much into it. I have the red one. I put like 500, I think. How do I feel about Terra Luna? How is Luna still there, but not Terra Luna? I liked Terra Luna. I liked what they were doing. It was just executed poorly, unfortunately, with because they released a stablecoin that was algorithmically related to Terra Luna, right? And that's what caused a huge issue. Yeah, Chronos is fire. Consider a very strong alt to buy. I agree with you there. Yeah, I do like Chronos. I'll never get rid of it. Luna itself, though. So this one does exist. They kind of had to, like, change a bunch of stuff. They now have, like, Luna 2, Luna Classic, which it's not worth anything near what it used to be worth. And the big fault was the stablecoin that they released, which was algorithmically connected to it. Right now, it's a dead project. I don't believe in it anymore, and there's just much better other options if you want, like, fully decentralized stablecoins, which would be something like Athena instead, and just another general project. I don't know, just stick with normal stuff. Ethereum, Solana. There's a huge price discrepancy between those assets. Luna and Terra Luna, hold on. Because this exchange, it doesn't show which one we're referring to, so I know what you're talking about. There's a Luna Classic, which is Lun C. Terra Luna Classic. Is this the one that was rug pulled? Yeah, this is the one. I was here. I was in my living room. I was on my phone. I was dumping hundreds of dollars as the price continued going lower. We were watching this like happen live, and we were like, dude, they used to be worth like $40, and then it rose to $100 plus, and a lot of bad stuff happened. I had a lot of it in staking. I had like $4,000 in staking, and it was locked up, and I couldn't unlock it. Using Crypto.com, by the way. Couldn't unlock it. Price was crashing. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just going to keep on buying it more. And I'm like, dude, this is like worth $3. This is probably like a generational opportunity. If this thing like suddenly spikes back up, I'll be a millionaire. No, it didn't. It just kept going lower and lower, and we're worth less than Shiba Inu right now. You bought it at 25 cents back in 2021? Dude, that is crazy. 7K? Crazy, man. The other one was Luna 2, I think. There's this one, which... yeah, that doesn't exist. Or is it Luna 2? I forget what it is. This is the other Terra Luna. Yeah, I don't know what the difference between those two are, though. This one emerged from Terra Classic. It's like they tried to reset themselves. And this is the fault. The UST collateralized token, the stablecoin. It crashed in a bank run in May 2022, which devalued Luna to virtually zero and caused the launch of a new chain, resulting in Terra Classic, the old one, and Terra. This is their new attempt at it. But Do Kwon is in jail. There's no one really behind the project anymore. Yeah, Do Kwon, the guy from Luna, he's been locked up. We covered that live when he got sentenced. Yeah, crazy, crazy run. Dude, it sucks though. The idea was good. But unfortunately, like, one issue with the algorithm screwed up the whole thing. Crazy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was something like Terra Luna token is related to the UST stablecoin. From what I understood, it was, in order to keep the stablecoin at $1, you had to either burn or mint new Terra Luna tokens. He had a smile on his face. Yeah, man. So you had to, and same thing with the UST stablecoin, right? What had started happening is that as the stablecoin was devaluing, because as it says, there was a kind of like a bank run, right? It didn't have enough liquidity to support a huge transaction or something like that. It started devaluing to less than $1, which, you know, they had to start burning. Which one was it? They started burning the stable coin, which would mint the Terra Luna coin. It would create more Terra Luna tokens, right? Adding more tokens to circulation will devalue your price because of inflation. You're exceeding the supply and demand stuff, right? Too much supply, well, the demand is not keeping up with it, which caused the circulating supply to hyperinflate, causing the price to crash while trying to save the stablecoin, which it wasn't working. It wasn't going back up to $1. It was devaluing. What's supposed to be always stable at $1 kept going lower. It went to 70, 60 cents, lower and lower, until ultimately, like, both were just hyperinflated away. We tried burning UST tokens, but it was just not enough. Every time you burn, you mint, and it just erased Terra Luna itself as we knew it. Does UST even exist anymore, I wonder? No, it's gone. UST Classic. It's not even worth $1, if this is it. Yeah, it's literally right here. This is it. Worth 99 cents until eventually it's like, okay, now price is at 80 cents. Now it's at 12 cents. This is supposed to be worth $1. Why are we giving people a $1 token for 12 cents, 7 cents? Yeah, that was the big issue that went on with Terra Luna. But anyway, good stuff. Here's just more information, I guess more of the same. You got 1 free digital reward token per share, airdrop to shareholders via Crypto.com Kronos chain. That's the relation there. And we're also getting more perks on Truth Social and more coming in 2026. The stock is already pumping from yesterday. Am I blind? I didn't see a pump in DJT. Oh yeah, this was the pump. Okay, I missed that completely. 8% pump. I was too zoomed out or something. I didn't even realize this was an 8% pump. Most of it already got erased by now, though. The markets were closed today either way, so sell the news, buy tomorrow. Don't expect this thing to continue rising too high. Thoughts on IREN? Is that the stock? IREN Limited? I've heard of it. I haven't really looked too much into it, though. I don't know what it does. Don't know anything about the price itself. Before you do look at the price, you do want to look at what it does. Vertical integrated data center business powering the future of Bitcoin, AI, and beyond. Okay, I'm already interested. Strategically located in a renewable-rich, fiber-connected region across the US and Canada, Iran's large-scale grid-connected facilities are purpose-built for next generation of power defense computing applications. Okay. So we're talking like anti-quantum technology then? No, power dense computing applications, not defense. I've lost, like, every year I lose a bit of my IQ, but that's fine. Had a good rise. How high was this? November. Yeah, this is around the time where I heard this thing being talked about. I haven't heard about it recently, though. Seems like it's erased its gains a little. Good news is that in the 4-hour chart, you're still technically in an uptrend. Could be an Olympic buying opportunity if you really want to risk it before this thing flips its trend downwards, if it does. So use this stop loss around 36. if you want to save yourself. I guess you can trade gold and silver on Mexi, but I think they are about to sell off. I do think that silver and gold, their time is done. As gold is rising. Markets are back to open. The futures market is open, duh. It's on the rise right now. 1% rise for gold. This is a couple $100 billion going into it. And not in a Bitcoin. Yeah, so that's what I think about Iran. Seems good if it's related to Bitcoin. I do have to do more research on it, of course, though. But looking at the chart, decent buying opportunity. I wouldn't really say that to a stock that's like, seems to be on its way down. But it did look like it broke a downtrend. And it had a green uptrend there. So if you want to risk that, go for it. Looks okay. Yeah. With the other metals, though, you'll notice one of the first to sell off massively was, I think it was palladium, right? XPD, or maybe platinum. It was one of them. Palladium. Yeah, this was the big early sell-off that happened in the 28th of December. People noticed that and were like, yeah, might be silver's time, might be gold's time. I have not really looked at silver ever since it's been at all-time highs. XAG, USD. Yeah, it kind of had its sell-off as well, around 28th of December. After hitting an all-time high of 84, though, that's not too bad. I noticed that they were saying on other banks that were offering to sell physical silver, they were selling it at higher prices, like 124 an ounce, compared to if you go to like the charts to buy it, it's only 84 or 72 right now. So why are they charging more? People were like, well, it's probably because they actually don't have that much silver, which is why price has been parabolically rising, right? That makes sense. With gold, same deal. Its time arrived in 28th of December as a peak. Surely some of this money comes into Bitcoin now. Capital rotation? I hope so. All right, get out of here. Yeah, my pleasure, guys. Elon Musk says he paid so much in taxes one year that it broke the IRS computer. Okay, buddy. I did reply to him when he posted this. I'm like, dude, that's weird flex, but okay. Too many digits. They had to update the software to get it processed. He probably does pay billions in taxes, if we're being honest. So, yeah, congrats, I guess. Or congrats to the United States for immigrating the right people. Am I right? I have so much to talk about with immigration, but it's going to be like a whole separate video. One of these days when I have like nothing to talk about, there's actually nothing happening in the news, like actually nothing. I'm going to bring up all my saved bookmark posts about immigration and I'm going to go ham. Just saying. All right, on a lighter note, what do we expect for 2026? We're getting the FIFA World Cup. USA, Canada, and Mexico. So I'm guessing across all North America will be hosting them. America's 250th birthday. Great. The midterm elections. You're getting a stimmy check before, if tariffs are ruled in favor of Trump. You're getting the Winter Olympics in Italy. Where was it last time where it was this huge issue? Was it in France? Where they mocked Jesus and did satanic stuff and drag queen shows and very cringy stuff that no one really liked. Yeah, probably. NASA's Artemis 2 mission, crewed lunar flyby. Japan's Martian moon's exploration missions launch. India's Ganayan uncrewed test flight. I have no idea what any of this is. This is a big one though. Major quantum computing advancements. I did mention that I think quantum computing technology and those kinds of stocks will do well this year. It's going to be another race who can make the best supercomputer. I don't know which one specifically to invest in, so I'll have to research a bit more. I've heard a lot about Rigetti Computing and some other one. I'm probably just going to end up buying an ETF or something because I have no brain cells left. Major AI breakthroughs, talking about a AI bubble. That doesn't exist, guys. Interest rate and housing cycle shift, sure. And new census trend releases, marriage decline, birth rate collapse, male loneliness spike. Heck yeah, I contribute to all three. I love it. That's what we got. Yeah, it was Paris that did the Satan thing. Crazy, dude. Why don't I follow this? My bad. All right, 2026 is going to be lit, my friends. Can you see my settings for Super Trend? It's different than yours. It probably is. I do change mine to 5 and 5 of length and factor. I know the default is like 10-3. I feel like that is a little too reactive and it gives you some false signals. I want to be sure of my signals, so I changed it to 5 and 5 for the 4-hour chart. It helps me a lot, and it actually correlates to like the trend lines that I draw usually. So that's what I have with my super trend. I do keep, though, the 10-3 in the weekly chart. That's why you see like 2 different super trends right over here. The weekly chart that I have the super trend on is at 10-3 because I do want this to be like reactive, and it actually does work out pretty perfectly. If this was 5-5, I think we'd probably still be in an uptrend in the weekly chart, which is probably wrong. Yeah, we'd still be in an uptrend in the weekly chart. Hey, if you want to look at this that way, maybe 2026 will be good. There you go. I fixed 2026 for you guys right there. No, but in truthfulness though, I do prefer like the 10-3 because like historically speaking, 2021, you're in a bear market all the way up until January of 2023. You buy January 2023, you made $1 billion with this huge rise up until 2025, of course. Before October 10. Yeah. Did I see the news about the first cross-country autonomous drive completed by a Tesla? I did see that. Over 10,000 miles, no intervention. Yeah, Elon Musk reposted that. He's like, oh, that's cool. That was crazy. Technology is advancing pretty rapidly. I'm going to find it. Elon, or I don't know if I should look up the country Tesla. I don't know if this will work. Surely it'll appear. No. No, I'm gonna have to look it up on Elon Musk, and he's been shit posting excessively, so man, it's gonna take a while to find this. He posted it a couple days ago, but I do know what you're talking about. And I'm probably accidentally gonna skip over it. Let's see. That's not it. This was funny. A lot of stuff of, people are like, hey, Grok, can you put this in a bikini? Like the most random stuff, like a spaceship. And of course, Elon's like, yeah, it's kind of hot. They're doing it to a lot of different stuff, like remove the fake Spider-Man or remove the liar, and it will show like the European leaders, and it will remove the German leader for whatever reason. Where is it, dude? It was a while back. I know he said cool. That was it. Elon Musk, cool. That's all he said. Come on. Where is it, dude? Latest. I'm just gonna get a bunch of random stuff here, huh? I can't find it, dude. But yeah, anyways. Bitcoin and Ethereum holding RMA 55 weekly. RMA, what is RMA? Or did you mean EMA? I'm assuming it's EMA, right? RMA I don't think exists. EMA 55 weekly. I haven't looked at EMA, but let's see. Changing this to 55. Big if true. Wait, this is supposed to be EMA. Is this right? Am I using the right one? Hold on. You know what? Fine. Give me double EMA. Whatever. As long as it's an EMA. That's not what I wanted. All right, there we go. 55 weekly. No, I don't think it is, though. Because we did break below that. Unless I'm using the wrong one. I might be using the wrong one, honestly. Because I don't really pay too much attention to moving averages as much as I should, because they are pretty good. And Ethereum, too. Yeah. Okay, I don't know which one to use. But I mainly focus on like super trends. They've worked the best for me in the past. Hey, I did like that 5-5 thing though. If we just flip that over, we're still in a bull run. I know it's harder to confirm a trend change, but hey, where was that actually? Like, where does that invalidate? Oh, I'm not even using the right one. That should be 10. I had to undo twice apparently. Okay. This invalidates at 85,000. We haven't really closed a week below that. Lowest week we closed was 86,900 something. Yeah. Yes, okay, great. Thanks for confirming. Yeah. Hey, we're still technically in it. I guess this kind of works too. Wait a minute. Or maybe it's just a futile attempt. Maybe we're going to see like a similar pattern to what we're seeing over here. Can I please? It's not going to let me. Okay, thank you. Thank you for being useless. What if we see this, what I'm highlighting in red, happening right now over here, and it's just going to like have a drop like this right over here. Like that. That'd be pretty epic. Then the people who bet on 65k would be right. And I'm not going to let that happen. I'll inject a lot of capital to avoid that from happening. I think this is why I did the 10-3 is because it gave me the bear signal earlier, right? The bear signal activated in the 5-5 chart over here in like May of 2022, which by then you're a little bit too late. You're already guaranteed to lose. Which I mean, that in fairness, yeah, that is what the bear market is supposed to do. Like, don't go long anymore because you're just going to drop. Until you get the bullish super trend once again in the weekly charts, then you're good to buy again. So I'm kind of waiting for that as well. Although I'm still kind of doing the opposite. I still have faith in Bitcoin and I still will buy. Even with 3x leverage, I'll still be good. It defaults to an 18 period, Wilder's recursive moving average, RMA. But it allows users to switch between types like SMA, EMA, HMA, volume weighted moving average, double exponential, or triple exponential. Interesting. I never heard of that. Recursive moving average. That's good. I'm learning something new, man. Thanks for showing me. Yeah. All right. Lovely. Yeah, I can't find this Elon Musk thing, dude. That's annoying. All right, I'm going to leave before I see something I don't want. Yeah, then that'll be it for tonight, guys. So, oh yeah, I was going to talk about New Year's resolutions. My New Year's resolutions is I will start working out every morning. Yes, I will. I promise. I will read the Bible in a whole year. My church is holding me accountable for this, so I'll actually get it done. I have read the whole Bible before, as a kid, but it's been many years. I'm an old man now, and I don't remember much. So I want to redo it, and I will. And I'll record it all this time, and I will upload it in the future. The way it's working is it's like you're reading the Bible in like a chronological order. So it's not like you're going to read all of Genesis, all of Exodus, all of the, not to get too religious on you, but like we're going to take some parts of Genesis and then whatever comes after, like maybe some other part referenced in a different book in a different chapter, we'll include that to kind of have it in like a perfect chronological order, right? For example, the Gospels, the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, they have their full set of story, right? You're not going to read through each one of them, finish, start to finish. No, you're going to go through like, okay, Matthew's account, and then, oh, now John's account has the same situation as Matthew, but in a different way. So you're going to read that part too. So that's kind of the way it works. So I'm going to be doing that. I will also, I think I'm going to start, I should do this by now, but yeah, flossing every day for real. Because I'd floss like maybe once a week. My dentist does not like hearing that. I'm sorry, dentist. But yeah, I'll start flossing more. Maybe focus more on playing an instrument. I have played piano and guitar slightly. My guitar is weak and it's missing a string, and I've replaced it with a string that doesn't belong there, and it sounds weird and it loosens up a lot. The strings have snapped on me like 3 times. So it's an old guitar. little garbage thing. I want to replace that. I want to get an electric guitar. I don't know why. And what else will I do? There was something else. I literally had something else that I wanted to do for this year. Where's my phone? I probably have it noted. Ow, somewhere here. I just hit my elbow on the desk. That's how spacious it is. Yeah, no, I don't remember what else I'm going to do. So, thoughts on this indicator? It's why you're bullish. The RMA? I would have to research it more, though. What was it called? Recursive? Moving average? I have to research it more. It looks okay, but I don't see it like actually on my chart. So I would have to like research it a bit more. Explain how I'm able to stream so clearly. Is it an app? Yeah, it is. I'm using OBS as my streaming service. Just connect the private key to YouTube and it works. I did like obviously some modifications to my screen, so I only have this screen shared. By screen I mean like my whole monitor. I have a 3-monitor setup now. The link is free. Yeah, for OBS it's free. You don't have to pay nothing. And you know, just have good internet, I guess. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And then like the stuff you see like at the top over here, I just did that myself with OBS itself. Like you can add fonts, add images, right? So you can crop stuff around. That's how I kind of made it look like this. I want to find if this exists on TradingView, RMA. Oh, well, great. I have to disable this first. How smart. See, TradingView you do have to pay for, which is cringe, but okay. Like I can literally use the any TradingView function on this chart for like literally on any exchange, on BitUnix, on BingX, on another couple that I will not name because they do not pay me anything. I have been reached out, by the way, from some exchanges, but I'm sure they're scams, right? Maybe. I don't know. Thanks for the engagement. Hey, no problem, man. My pleasure. So this is the RMA. Okay. And we're doing... Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to change here. First of all, it's in a weekly chart. And here we're above this level is what you're saying, which is invalidates at 86,000. That's pretty good. Is you want the link for OBS? Yeah, just OBS, literally. This is all we type here. You download, I'll take you to the download page. Depending, of course, on what you got. Windows, Mac, Linux, download with that. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean with this one. If I'm basing this off of default settings, so maybe there's a change that has to be made here. A couple of changes, but on first look, yeah. It seems like we're not fully there in a bearish trend. I like it, I like it. I will have to research this more, like I said, though, for real. So yeah. Hey, I appreciate you enjoying the show and sticking around. How was Aptos? Did I make the wrong decision? Look at Aptos. This is so funny. And I'm happy about like a tiny profit movement like this. I'm like, let's go. I made profit. And a chart that looks like this, that's insane. The link for the indicator you provided with the link. What? The link for the indicator. I just looked it up if that's what you meant, or just went to TradingView and added it on the indicator stuff over here, RMA. If that's what you meant, yeah. Let me just zoom in here. Yeah, it looks like I made the right decision with Aptos, so far at least. If it does come back down, 167, that's where I will be buying. Oh, that was another New Year's resolution that I had. No more laughing at 6-7 jokes. I have to write that in paper somewhere. And that is it. Okay. Wonderful. Were you asking like what a RMA I just looked it up on Google if that's what you meant. Recursive moving average. This is just AI telling me what it is. That's the only other link that I've got. But yeah. That's about it, man. For tomorrow, we'll see what happens. Do we even have any economic data happening? Let's see. No, nothing's happening tomorrow. Hey, there's nothing in our way. Should hopefully be a green day. Hopefully. Negative funding rate, by the way. Wonderful. Okay, guys, that'll be all for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for sticking by. Oh, the script. You have a script for it? Then yeah, I could probably get it on TradingView. To maybe add it here. I don't know if I can add scripts here, but on TradingView for sure. I don't know if there's a link for it though specifically. Yeah. All right, guys. That'll be all for tonight. I'll catch you tomorrow. Same time, same hour. My shift will be early, so I won't have any scheduling conflicts. Saturday should also be fine. Sunday as well. Monday will be the issue though, but I'll worry about that, the streaming schedule, when it gets to that point, because I'm going to be working till like 11 apparently. So I don't know. I'll have a chat with the manager to see what we can do. The supervisor, whatever. All right, guys.